friends, welcome back to Programmer's Vision. Today in this video, let's study something intriguing about states of matter. So first, let's get started with melting or fusion. Melting or fusion. A process in which a solid substance changes into a liquid on heating is called melting, or the other name for melting is called as fusion. The melting of a solid substance takes place at fixed temperature. The temperature at which a solid substance melts and changes into a liquid at atmospheric pressure is called its melting point of a substance. For example, the ice melts at temperature of 0 degrees to form liquid water. So, melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. Different solids have different melting points. The melting point of a solid is a measure of force of attraction between its particles, atoms or molecules. Higher the melting point of a solid, greater will be the force of attraction between its particles. We will now describe how a solid changes into a liquid on heating. When a solid is heated sufficiently, it changes a physical state and becomes a liquid. This happens as follows. When a liquid substance is heated, the heat energy makes its particles vibrate more vigorously. At the melting point, the particles of a solid have sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the strong forces of attraction, holding them in fixed positions and break to form small groups of particles, and the solid melts to form a liquid. This is how melting happens. Melting of glaciers is the best example for melting or fusion. So now let's come to boiling or vaporization. The process in which a liquid changes into a gas rapidly on heating is called boiling. So when water changes into steam rapidly on heating, it is called a boiling of water. A change of state takes place during boiling. The boiling of a liquid takes place at a fixed temperature. The temperature at which a liquid boils and changes rapidly into a gas at atmospheric pressure is called the boiling point of a liquid. Just how we have freezing point in melting or fusion, we have boiling point in boiling or evaporation. Let's take an example for a closer look. When water is heated to a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, it boils rapidly to form a gas called steam. So the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. At a boiling point, water changes its state from liquid to gas or vapor. Different liquids have different boiling points. For example, the boiling point of alcohol is 78 degrees Celsius. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. The boiling point of a liquid is the measure of the force of attraction between its particles. The higher the boiling point of the liquid, greater will be the force of attraction between its particles. We will now describe how a liquid changes into a gas on heating. This happens as explained. When a liquid is heated, the heat energy makes its particles move even faster. At the boiling point of the particles of a liquid have sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the forces of attraction, holding them together and separate into individual particles, and liquid boils to form a gas. This is exactly the same thing what happens in the water cycle, evaporation. Now let's learn what is condensation. The process of changing a gas or vapor to a liquid by cooling is called condensation. So when the steam or water vapor changes into water on cooling, it is called condensation of steam or condensation of water vapor. A change of state to a gas takes place during condensation. This happens as follows. When a gas is cooled enough, then its particles lose so much kinetic energy that they slow down, move closer together until they start being attracted to each other and form a liquid. Please note that the condensation is the reverse of boiling or vaporization. This image is the best example for condensation. Now let's come to freezing. Freezing is also known as solidification. When water freezes to form ice, then there is a change from liquid state to solid state. Please note that the freezing is the reverse of melting. So the freezing point of a liquid is the same as the melting point of its solid form. For example, the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. So the freezing point of water is also 0 degrees Celsius. A change of state occurs during freezing. This happens as explained now. When a liquid is cooled, its particles lose energy, due to which they move slowly. If the liquid is cooled enough, it reaches particles stop moving and vibrates about a fixed position. At this stage, the liquid freezes and it becomes a solid. From the above discussion, from the now what we have discussed, we conclude that the state of matter can be changed by changing the temperature, by heating or cooling. For example, when a solid is heated, it melts to form a liquid. Freezing of ice is the best example for freezing or solidification. Now let's come up to sublimation. The process of directly changing from the solid to gaseous state is known as sublimation. Substances that sublime easily include naphthalene, camphor, iodine, and dry ice. Dry ice is also known as solid carbon dioxide. When these solids are heated, their particles move so quickly that they separate completely to form vapor or gas, and when these vapor or gas is cooled, these particles slow down quickly that they become fixed and form a solid again. In many households, small naphthalene balls are kept in stored woolen and silk cloths, etc., to protect them from the attack of moths and other insects. It is noticed that these naphthalene balls disappear with time without leaving behind any residue. This is because the naphthalene balls undergo sublimation. The naphthalene balls keep on forming naphthalene vapor slowly, in which they disappear to the air. The last but not the least is deposition. Deposition is the reverse of the process of sublimation. Here, a gas solidifies directly without going through the liquid stage when it undergoes a reduction of temperature. The best example of deposition is forming of roast in extreme cold conditions. So I hope you all have understood the topic very clearly and thoroughly. If you have any doubts related to this video, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section below. Till then, have a good day and goodbye.